Self sabotage comes from irrational fear. Sometimes our most sabotaging behaviors are really the result of long held and unexamined fears we have about the world and ourselves. Perhaps it is the idea that you are unintelligent, unattractive, or disliked. Perhaps it is the idea of losing a job, taking an elevator, or committing to a relationship. In other cases, it can be more abstract, such as the concept of someone coming to get you, violating your boundaries, getting caught, or being wrongly accused. These beliefs become attachments over time. For most people, the abstract fear is really a representation of a legitimate fear because it would be too scary to actually dwell on the real fear. We project those feelings onto issues or circumstances that are less likely to occur. If the situation has an extremely low likelihood of becoming reality, it therefore becomes a safe thing to worry about because subconsciously we already know it isn't going to happen. Therefore, we have an avenue to express our feelings without actually endangering ourselves. For example, if you are someone who is deeply afraid of being a passenger in a car, maybe your real fear is the loss of control or the idea that someone or something else is controlling your life. Perhaps the fear is of moving forward, and the moving car is simply a representation of that. If you were aware of the real issue, you could begin working to resolve it, perhaps by identifying the ways you are giving your power being too passive. However, if you aren't aware of the real problem, you will continue to spend your time trying to convince yourself to not be triggered and anxious while riding in the car and find that it only gets worse. If you try to fix the problem on the surface, you will always come up against a wall. This is because you are trying to rip off a band aid before you have a strategy to heal the wound. Self sabotage comes from unconscious negative associations. Self sabotage is also one of the first signs that your inner narrative is outdated, limiting, or simply incorrect. Your life is defined not only by what you think about it, but also what you think of yourself. Your self concept is an idea that you have spent your whole life building. It was created by piecing together inputs and influence from those around you. What your parents believed, what your peers thought, what become self-evident through personal experience, and so on. Your self-image is difficult to adjust because your brain's confirmation bias works to affirm your pre-existing belief about yourself. When we self-sabotage, it is often because we have a negative association between achieving the legal goal we aspire to and being the kind of person who has or does that thing. If your issue is that you want to be financially stable and yet you keep running every efforts you make to get there, you have to back to your first concept of money. How did your parent manage their finances? More importantly, what did they tell you about people who had it and people who didn't? Many people who struggle financially will justify their place in life by disavowing money as a whole. They will say that all rich people are terrible. If you grew up with people who told you your entire life that people who have money are this way, guess what you are going to resist having? Your anxiety around the issue that you are self-sabotaging is usually a reflection of your limiting beliefs. Maybe you associate being healthy with being vulnerable because you had a present who was perfectly healthy when they suddenly fell ill. Maybe you aren't writing your mug up opus because you don't really want to write, you just want to be as successful because that will give you praise, which is typically what people repent when they want to acceptance but haven't gotten it. In order to reconcile this, you have to begin to challenge these pre-existing ideas and then adapt new ones. You have to be able to recognize that not everybody with money is corrupt, not by a long shot. Even more importantly, given that there are people who use their money in selfish ways, it is even more important that good people with great intentions are fearless in pursuit of acquiring this essential tool to create more time, opportunity, and wellness for themselves and others. You have to recognize that being healthy makes you less vulnerable, not more. And that criticism comes with creating anything for the public and isn't a reason to not do it. You have to show yourself that there are many different ways to self soothe that are more effective than unhealthy food choices, and that there are far better ways to connect with others than through negativity. Once you begin to really question and observe these pre existing beliefs, you begin to see how wrapped and illogical they were all along, not to mention distinctly holding you back from your ultimate potential.